Nothing much.
What's up, guys?
Nothing much. Alright, so I have some questions, dude. Not gonna lie.
I hope I have some answers. I don't know if they're the answers you want, though.
Oh, no, dude. I'm not looking for, like, a specific answer or a right or wrong answer. So, onto the strategy itself, do you think it would be more efficient to get an advantage? So, like, maybe so that you don't get in trouble, right? Or that people doing it don't get in trouble. They make advantages for their team throughout the game, all 3 lanes. Or, like, maybe you let your ADC farm, you let your ADC do their own thing pre-6, and then when they get to 6, you go back down there. But until then, you roam with your jungler, you help your mid lane, and you help your top lane get advantages by getting summoner spells or kills or whatever you can get. Do you think that would be more optimal?
Who's the best ADC to have with the strat?
I would say Caitlyn Sivir.
I would say Ezreal.
Ezreal or Sivir seem to be the best right now because Ezreal can see us from a distance. Sivir can wave clear. Any other wave clear champ would work with it, I think. I don't know. I haven't played enough of it, right?
If you don't want an ADC, I also don't mind taking Malzahar bottom. Just kind of Malzahar fill.
I got it. Wait, how much AP do we have? Oh, okay.
Ziggs might work, right? Like any safe champ that can wave clear, you can put bottom. It doesn't even have to be an ADC because your ADC can always go mid as well.
Yeah, I was thinking Brand. People that could like really punish someone trying to dive you. But I'll try Tristana because I already put a theory out for this. So
I do think that almost like a double jungle might work. I know it might be crazy to say, but like either both of you are clearing together, or both of you or one of you like goes and invades, right, and steals a camp with smite, and puts their jungler behind. I think that could work too, and then you guys can do like 3v1 ganks, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, there's a lot that isn't explored in League of Legends because most people just want to play the standard way.
Yeah, they stick to the same thing. I think that's a problem that I've been playing since the beginning of season 2, and
that's the exact same as me.
And it's been annoying because there's so many different things. Like people have been telling me, and professionals and high elo, putting quotations around it, have been saying that Sona would never be a competitive champion because this, and this, and now Sona Taric is a meta thing. Now people are preaching that Sona's actually better off in a team comp than having Taric. Like, are you kidding me?
Right.
Yeah, people don't know what they're talking about half the time.
I mean, like, then that's part of the balance changes, right? As the balance changes, not only are they just buffing or nerfing certain champions, they're allowing other champions to come out in the spotlight, depending on the runes, the masteries.
Yes, but there are times like Urgot. I can't remember the argument for Urgot, but Urgot was like an untouched champion for like nearly a year. Like they barely touched him.
So was Aatrox.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they come out of nowhere and just start curb stomping. Sion in Banner of Command, dude. Banner of Command was in the game for so long before that strategy came out, and Sion got reworked in like season 4, season 3. Like there's
no much earlier, I think.
You know they saw you, right?
It's probably worth shooting a lot.
Tell me, I don't think he did.
He did 100%.
I don't think he did. I don't think he was paying attention.
Invading.
They're invading. Wait, what?
I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't think that's it.
Nice. That's one. That's 2, and he died.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Get him.
I didn't think he got stun level.
You should probably. Oh shit.
Oh shit. Yeah. Good luck.
Oh, I'm on the way.
Yeah, we're playing ARAM.
I didn't realize.
Wow.
Yo, Tristana, push hard when you
It's
get
good.
minions or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I might have to call
Well,
my
I got
riot
my
friend.
minions.
That support seemed like he was roaming level 1 too. That's literally going to be the new meme in League of Legends. Like, anytime someone pisses someone off, they're just going to say, I'm going to call my Riot friend.
Hey,
I
if
see
you
it
talk
now.
to Riot, you should get Tom Kench nerf.
It's not gonna matter. He, he's
yeah.
you need to remove him. It just doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to this topic. I mean,
I
at
like
least,
it.
thank God, Riot said, okay, what Nightblue did was wrong.
Yeah,
Thank God.
bro. I'm gonna be honest with you though. I think that both of you, it wasn't handled in the best way.
I agree, actually.
I looked. I made a video. I looked specifically on what was. I muted the video and I kind of just looked at the game as a whole, and there were just things that were from everyone, dude. There was things that were just like kind of just they fell by the wayside, and part of it I will accredit to maybe you're tilted. You know, you have people giving you a hard time. You're not gonna.
He had Ignite.
You're not gonna think about it. You know what I mean? When things are getting stressful, but there was definitely, I think both sides could have handled it a lot better. And
Like, are you saying after the fact or during
I'm saying
the game?
during the game, period. Actually, you know what I mean?
I'm just curious.
Mhm.
How do you think that I could have handled it better? Because I obviously know, like, anything that I do obviously can probably be handled better, right? There's always optimizing how you handle things. But like, how would you handle it?
Okay, so in the moment, and again, this is because it's in the moment, so it's hard to make a comment on it. But in the moment, there was one play where Aurelia was pretty much owned, right? She had a corrupting pot, but that's not enough. She walks up to Twisted Fate, right? And she freaking dashes on him. She doesn't have her stack, so it doesn't get reset. And you yourself, you move forward, and I think you were trying to, like, you know, kind of back her up, but there was no proper vision set down for you guys to be that far up. Aurelia had no mana to really bust anything off. Freaking Hecarim comes from behind, just like Gibbs you, and then Gibbs.
Is that my first death in the game?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, I definitely overextended because I wanted to back up Irelia. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's just the misplay.
Yes.
So I mean, how are you saying about, like, handling the situation as a whole though? Because every game someone has a misplay. I can look at every single game, even the rank 1 players, and be like, yeah, you could have done this instead.
I think it was big because Ryze getting a double kill on Nightblue and Aurelia. Really, that's when the game started swinging to the enemy favor. But oh dude, don't gank bot, man. I'm good.
Oh, that's so unlucky.
I don't have heal, man.
That's my bad. That's my fault.
I didn't watch the game, but Nightblue, I don't think he played good. From what I saw.
Nobody played well. There's a time when the game scores like 2 and 9.
Yeah.
If anybody's playing well, that score doesn't fucking.
The Hecarim was on the money though. Jungler difference, 100%. But what else, dude? Like control wards, stuff like that, were never purchased. I'm not sure. I think Nico was like the only person on that team, from what I saw in that 15 minutes, that actually bought a control ward.
Okay, we can do this.
It was just small stuff like that. I think maybe camping Nico's lane would have been a better idea because her CC's more reliable than Aurelia's, who's requires a lot of outplay. Like it was just stuff like that.
I mean, I'm not saying I played like a saint because I know,
definitely
like,
not,
but I'm saying, like, as far as like me doing something that was bannable, do you think like I deserved the ban?
No.
Okay. No, this don't take this personally.
I'm not. No, I'm just curious.
All right. So, I think for that game, that you should have attempted to communicate with your team. I know. Trust me that how people will take it normally, but just to appease Lord Chinchin, for the sake of argument, if you at least tried to do that, then maybe you wouldn't have gotten banned. I think there was no pinging, really. Like, there was only one person on your team that was actually pinging stuff out. I think that you should have pinged stuff out more. I think Aurelia should have pinged out her intent more. I think that in terms of you might have sat in the lane too much. You know what I mean? I think that you should have roamed a little bit more, and shown that you were really like, because if I'm an outsider and I'm looking at the game and I'm like, okay, Teemo's just sitting mid, like he's not really taking CS, fine, like you can't complain about that, but the vision and roaming and trying to make those advantages for the for your team, it didn't seem like you got too productive past that first one.
I thought you were closer, Kindred.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
About, like, it's not about the game, it's about you handling the situation. I can't speak really for, like, I don't play that strategy, so I don't know how people react, but I think that probably you should have, like, tried to reason with Irelia when she told you, Teemo, please leave. Just say, like, dude, like, calm down, we got you 30 CS of advantage, we got you first blood, like, chill, maybe.
Yeah, but here's the problem, right? I personally really don't like chatting in game, because when I chat in game, I'm not focused on the game. That's me personally. It's kind of funny, because I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, but on the Riot like code of conduct page, there's a link to like what not to do to get banned. Yes. And Riot says to not get banned, to literally drag your chat off the fucking screen and mute everyone.
Yeah.
So by saying that, they're kind of saying like you don't have to communicate like with your team.
No. And
no, I almost killed him.
Under most circumstances, that's all fine, well, and good. But when you are implementing a strategy that is going to require people to be flexible, because you have to remember that your strategy requires flexibility, and everyone's going to have to kind of be on board with it and to understand it, so that they're not like, dude, this guy's a troll, right? Because you want the intent to come across as, I'm not trolling, I have a legitimate idea that I want to test out, or that I've been testing out, and I need you guys to trust me, and then yes, drag your thing off. Because if you make that attempt, even you don't have to look at responses. Like, I mute my team after I've told them that I'm trying your strategy out. And my Garen was flaming the fuck out of me, right? But by the end of the game, I actually had that Garen's respect. He was threatening me, you know, he was basically night bluing me, right? But by the end of the game, just because I communicated my intent, and I still helped him out, I didn't stick around in his lane too long, but I roamed a ton of lanes and actually saved my dude from getting killed by a Viger, my Rise. But because I communicated, he actually ended up just being pretty chill about it. So
now here's the thing, right? So at my elo, I want to say every game, like 8 out of 10 people are the same people in the next game. So by this point, everyone knew what I was doing, except for Night Blue, I think.
Yep.
No, I can go top.
And then another like question is like, okay, let's just say, I know it's like if I explained what I'm doing, but like to explain what I'm doing, right? Once again, it makes people look at chat, and if I think personally, if I explain what I'm doing and they don't agree with what I'm doing, first off, do you guys think that like you should still be able to do it if they don't agree to it?
Yeah, but at the same time, I will try to basically how I see it and how I executed it was, dude doesn't want me to do it. I'm gonna do it anyway. I got him. All I did though was I took away this. It was Garen versus Shen. I took away the Shen's flash, and I took away his
mouse.
I chunked him down to about, I want to say like 45% HP. He flashed away from me, and he didn't have a pot anymore. He didn't have a flash, and then I just let my Garen be. I roamed down to mid lane, and lo and behold, it was actually kind of funny. My Rise was under tower against a Viger. The Viger traps him, but because I roamed to mid lane, I stopped him from dying. And then I roamed, and then I kept helping him out until my ADC was getting some levels and getting some power behind him, and then I went back bot lane, helped him out, and then I kept roaming around. I think that if you're roaming around constantly and you're not just sitting in a lane, people might be a little bit more receptive to it, because because at least it looks like it looks more like you're trying if you're really getting around the map.
I mean, here's the bottom line, right? Like, I don't care what people think of the strategy, and like, I'm not trying to convince people by any means. Like, I'm gonna do what I think is best for the team. Personally, now this is my opinion. Other people may differ, and there's probably better champs. But personally, I think that the early experience is very important, and in that particular game, I didn't roam much. In other games, I roam a lot.
Okay.
Depending on where the jungler at, where my jungler's at.
Okay.
Depending on the lane matchups. But I think that anytime you roam, and this is also like the same for junglers when they decide to go for a gank instead of go for a camp, because roaming is basically going for a gank. And when minions die, you're not getting that experience, whether it's shared or solo.
Yeah.
So it's almost like taking that. I'm sorry, I'm coming.
Rift Herald is like.
Let's go. Let's go in.
Almost done though.
I see your point.
He's on break.
Seal, thanks for the sub, man. Everyone give a clap for Seal.
I see your point. But it's one of those it's one of those things. Because like Bard is a good champion, and it's kind of like what Bard is meant to do in the first place. What the fuck was I gonna say? But it's one of those things, man. I know you're not trying to. You're obviously you're doing it for you. You're doing it because you think it's what's best for the team, and I think it's a good strategy. Just let
me give you an example. I think like Alistar, right, roaming early.
Strat reminds me of the one guy.
As soon as he gets his 3 abilities, he can roam and gank lanes nonstop, and he's great.
Damn it.
Teemo roaming, like with his current kit, like I don't have any hard CC or nothing like that, you know. So it's better for me to get like experience and then scale off my shrooms.
They want me so bad. That's so funny. No, I get that, man.
I ran over a word. Yeah, don't call me out, strategic.
I get that. I don't know. I just think that don't forget that in everything, man. Everything you do, there's politics to it, and that playing the game requires playing the game as well.
Nubrac, needs help.
Because I would like to, I personally I would like to see you flourish as a streamer. I would like to see this actually pick up because I've already thought of some good ideas. And I don't know. I just think that compromising and remembering that you are on a team. Bro, I'm totally like AFK right now. Was it worth?
Yeah, you guys are like talking so much you're not paying attention
Hey. I'm bot lane by myself, okay? I can talk.
Yeah, and fucking
I can talk all
Dragon MVP? Nope.
I was going for the dunk, baby. Look, you got a guy mid CS zoning for you, okay? I don't have that. I can't focus like that.
Okay, but like
nah,
we
nobody
physically said
it's all good. It's a normal game.
That's fine.
So it wasn't about map awareness either. It was map awareness and hero.
Okay. Well,
actually, I mean, if you really want to be like technical and like mid lane is the shortest lane and it's also the most important lane. And I think having more like League has taken a graph. I don't know if you guys can still find it, but they did like ant trails. They took 100,000 games and put like ant trails as to everywhere people walked in League of Legends, and the mid lane was just obviously highlighted with red because that's the first inhib most people take. You know, you get Baron, you go to the shortest lane, you take the inhib.
Yeah, but that's
I think actually having more people mid or closer to mid in general is better for the team. So I think like duo mid is great. Because obviously if there's any brawl by any scuttles, like you guys are all there to brawl. And I think it would create more action and more fun overall in League of Legends.
It could.
I think like side lanes are great for 2v1s or 2v2s even, because they're longer lanes and you can freeze the lane better or control the waves better. That's my personal
Ooh,
opinion.
that Volibear
I
does a
would
lot,
personally
maybe.
love to see like 2 solo lanes on the side and
keep
like
pushing
ADC
mid.
support mid.
Just keep
That's
pushing
what I
mid.
would love to see.
Have any of you got to play the new game? Or nah?
No, I'm gonna wait till it comes out for real. There's no point otherwise.
The team fight thingy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played it once, but the queues on PB are like actually 10 plus hours long, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, like we have another hater in the chat. Like this is the kind of immaturity that like I really don't care for.
It's whatever. Shit happens.
That's gonna come all the time.
Exactly. Like it's part of the game.
You just have to ignore it.
Right.
Is this like the same guy asking if you got your account unbanned like 10th time?
Oh, that you hate to see it. That Fizz, man.
Like honestly, I think the coolest part about like becoming like well known like I am is like actually being a voice for you guys and like actually hearing inputs from the community, not just with my situation, but like any situation going forward that's big like this.
Yeah.
I mean, as fun as like the meta is, the reason why Riot keeps changing the game and rebalancing and reworking things is because after a while things get, stale. Like doing the same thing for a while is fun until people perfect it, and then it's not fun anymore. It's just repetition. I think there's a lot
what
more.
The fuck was that? I love Tristana because it's always interesting when you rocket jump. Get wrecked. I'm not even the carry, dude. I'm just the fucking support. I'm the real support. I'm just artillery.
and it was kind of funny because, yeah, people were making comparisons. What's worse, me playing a champ I know how to play in a different way, or people playing a champ that they're not good at all? Like Poppy jungle, like for example.
Yeah. I don't think you can compare them because it's two different situations.
They're two different things, right?
But,
yeah, exactly. But I'm saying like the mentality aspect of people getting upset over
oh yeah,
a little, like any kind of little change, people get upset about it.
Dude,
like any off meta thing, like people get mad about.
And they don't even
every
understand
popular league streamer's toxic.
Yeah. Well, I like Tyler one because he knows he's toxic. Like he's toxic, but he's like
he's joking.
He's chill,
like,
yeah.
You saw he played my strategy, right?
Yeah, I watched that. I was watching.
But I don't. But see, what he did was he went mid. Obviously, he sat stealth with them actually with the enemy in vision, and then the thing with him was he went bottom. Now I disagree totally with him going bottom in that case. He went into a karma, and if you watch that game, he got completely.
Tristana, no, there's 3 bottom.
I want it. I want it though. You say 3 bot, and I'm like, sign me up.
Thank you, Kindred.
Here,
that's basically.
There's 3 in the river, Nubrac.
Yeah, I see.
Rotating
is the Teemo roaming thing better top or mid?
It depends on the match.
On your lane.
Like it's almost like I compare this honestly to like lane swapping. Like you know how sometimes your top lane and mid lane will switch because like, hey, it's a better matchup. That's literally how I view my support strategy. I'm going to a better matchup for me, or overall as a team. I think it's a better overall matchup. It's a better matchup for me, and I hope it's a better matchup for the team.
I think it is only because I don't think 90% of AD carries are worth having a support anyway. I don't know about high elo, but definitely in low elo, dude. A lot of AD carries don't know how to position. They don't know when to harass, when to farm.
Right.
And it gets to a point where...
I don't feel like AD carries good in this meta.
Okay, you know what, Thresh? I didn't want to have to do it, dude. Get the fuck out of here, kid.
I actually feel that the game will become more fun if this like roaming support thing becomes meta, because right now it's really unfun to play AD carry, at least like in my range, so like gold to platinum.
Oh shit.
It's so unfun to play AD carry because you have to rely in the early game on the other person.
Yo,
and
Yasuo,
so
he's too fast.
You're
He's too
very
fast.
screwed.
I'm dead.
No. I think I agree with what you said too. I think the problem with any kind of duo lane, and this is for any lane, is I think people that are support like feel useless when their ADC is useless, right? And then I think ADCs feel like they're playing the lane by themselves when their support doesn't know what they're doing.
It's more often than not the ADC doesn't know what they're doing.
Right, but I mean, that could be.
I rock Brand, dude, because and that's why I play a crap ton of Brand and Lux. I run Dark Harvest, and no matter how bad any of my teammates do,
You want to go in or no?
I do.
I just need a point.
Yeah. We need to go like prevent them somehow.
If Yasuo can get a ult.
Well,
Do we have knockup?
I'm just gonna go.
Alright.
focus volley.
Watch out
Baron.
there.
Baron.
Oh, nice.
I tried.
We did it.
Are they ace? We'll
We
still
fucking
hit.
did it.
You're so hard.
Easy. Clayvon, I was gonna say it's about like, obviously it's not even fucking comparable in the least, but it's more about like just standing up to what I think is right. Like I in no way think that, and this is where like I don't care about the ban personally. Like I'm not upset that I got banned in any way, shape, or form. This ban is gonna like actually start my Twitch career, which is fucking awesome. The thing I am upset about is Riot still they gave me like 10 different reasons why I was banned, and I still don't know the exact reason why. And I wish I just want Riot going forward to come out with a rule book or something, or a statement about it being like, this is what's acceptable, this is what isn't, so people know. Like, I'm not sure if you saw that video about like the AFKers, right, or the the remake system, and how who was it?
Get in my way. I dare ya.
He basically, someone inted to the base, gave that AFK person experience, and they weren't allowed to remake.
I'm coming.
Because that person in
You
base
guys
got
were literally.
An ally has been slain.
I was ulted by Fizz. I mean, I don't know.
And also, I guess there was another instance where, like, just a friend of mine, they said they had a problem where someone never connected. They had extra armor and magic resist, and they tried to remake and they weren't allowed to, and they just lost the game. And then they made a live support
You guys
ticket.
should push bot because the football is top.
They made a live support ticket, and in the live support ticket they said, hey, sorry, we can't handle this, like, you have to make a post on the boards. They made a post on the boards, and they removed the post within, like, 3 minutes. And then they made another post shortly after and said, is this a priority? And most people said yes. Like, if you have an AFK in your game, they want the ability to remake. Like, that should be a thing, right?
That's like such a Riot thing to do. Like, if you do not know how to handle problem, just like make it seem like it doesn't exist.
It's tough, dude. I think people point the finger at Riot a lot, but I feel like Riot isn't the one playing the game, making the game a pain in the ass for everyone else. That's like, your attitude has a lot to do with what goes on in the game and in the games that you play. So granted, people might have a good argument, but at the end of the day, dude, a mute button's a thing, and I see people never take advantage of that. And there's just it's tough, because you have to balance everything, and there's probably so many. It's NA, dude. You can only imagine the tickets they get, like, every single day. this person's toxic.
Right. I mean, like I said before, who here has had a game in League of Legends within the past 8 years that like has not had at least one report in it? I don't think anyone has.
Wait, at least one game?
Have you had one game
Yes.
where no one reported
yes.
anyone?
I've actually
doubt
recently.
it.
No,
I've had
recently.
games where no one reports.
Recently, dude, it was the most funny thing, and that was before I actually started turning off all chat. We were all just chilling. We were all having a good time. We were just dancing mid lane, and then freaking, we would just like we'd kill each other and stuff, and people were like, "Yo, good play, like respect." And I was sitting there like, and then one of the guys was like, "Dude, are we playing League of Legends right now? Because this can't be happening." And we were all like laughing about it, and then we won the game. And by the end of it, we were all just like, "Yo, good game," and it was fine. I've had plenty of games where.
Was that a custom game with friends?
No, I don't, dude. Fuck that, man. I'm a solo player. I play with my friends, but when I play with my friends, dude, I don't play anything serious. I'm just playing for fun. But no, it was a legitimate game. It was a legitimate game.
I'm seeing the guy in the chat typing Tarzan exposed, and I'm like, I'm sorry, dude, but this guy couldn't like use a calculator to divide two numbers on stream. Like, why does his opinion even counts? Like,
yeah, the Tarzan Tyler
sorry.
1 should have been there, not Tarzan.
Tarzan got just called out for win trading. You guys saw that, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
I haven't actually,
but the
I-
other
Kinda
guy's
funny
toxic
He called me hard
also.
stuck when he was the one actually win trading. I don't know if that says a lot about your character.
The thing about that is, though, the video was last season. It wasn't this season.
Doesn't
I
matter.
mean, it doesn't matter.
That's not
Like,
okay.
Yeah, like,
But
how does it
the
matter?
well, like the wasn't it from Dakar, that Rengar top player?
Yeah.
He said that it was rank 1 this season.
It could have been, because the thing is that just because the video's from last season, the problem is that he could have been doing it this entire time this season and no one would have known. And
True, there just has to be proof. What I'm saying, there just has to be proof for this season. There's no proof for this season.
I don't think there has to be proof.
You
Not
don't
at all.
need fucking proof from this
If
season.
you win traded and you get caught, it's just like if you've done a crime, right?
Right.
You deserve to go to jail.
Yeah, exactly. It's like if I murdered someone a year ago, that doesn't.
Yeah.
I murdered someone
Denied the fact
last
that I
year. It
murdered
doesn't
them.
count this year, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's
GG easy.
not.
GG.
Call me toxic.
I'm gonna create another lobby. Hopefully you guys can get in. Also, you guys are welcome on the Discord. Any kind of harassment or overlapping on each other, you will be removed from the Discord.
Yep.
Just letting everyone know.
That's fine.
I do want like new opinions. I do like seriously. Because I'm not saying I'm right in every case. I'm really not. I just think Riot's hopefully working on a way going forward because Wookie Cookie, the one who were like he said I was doing it because I was targeting high elo streamers. That was the last reason why I was banned, and I'm with a high elo streamer every game.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for like 10 hours a day.
Yeah. For a while.
So in no way was I doing it just because Night Blue was in my game. A couple games later, I went Leona, and Night Blue was in my game.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Like Wookie Cookie stated that 2 years ago, when the Singe case was around, he said that we're going to update our rules so that unusual play styles like this, like we would lock their account, audit them, and then tell them what they can do so they don't get banned. I just went with the 14-day ban, so that system obviously never went into place.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's one of those things. It's not very black and white, and I don't think that the strategy itself is a problem. I just think communication's key, at least an attempt. And if people are going to be immature, which we all know, especially high elo players are all special in their own way.
Right.
But as long as you make that contact, I don't think Riot can say or do anything to you, because at least you attempted and then you let it go and just whatever.
By the way, since
Hello.
we brought up all this ban situation, Nubrac, I gotta say, I'm sorry, man, but I watched that debate video with Night Blue, and you are so bad at arguing. Night Blue's points were trash. They were
He didn't have a point.
Horrible.
He didn't answer a question.
Going into that debate, let me tell you what I did. I know that he's immature. My point in that debate was not to talk at all. I really didn't want to say shit. I just wanted him to talk for 2 hours because I know he would have said something stupid, and he did say several stupid things.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's exactly the point.
He just said, "I don't care."
Kinda
a bunch of
ridiculed
times.
himself, but you could have done like a better job of just.
Oh, I could have. Yeah, of course.
I
I mean, but it was also his Discord. I could have been kicked at any time. Obviously, I wanted this to go public, so I didn't want to say anything that would piss him off or get him kicked. It was also 3v1 because he had to invite his 2 friends in there to make sure that, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, that was also like a scummy thing to do.
There wasn't like a moderator in this, you know, and he kept interrupting me. You know, I would let him finish his statements, but he would not let me finish mine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was very like passive aggressive. Just
exactly.
Just a douchebag.
It was like on the defensive. It really was.
He was like drawing analogies, even though analogies not an argument.
The party's open, guys. 2 more people can join. Usually, I'm just doing first come first serve, and then I ask if you were in the last game, you know, if to let other people in. Like that would be nice to rotate people.
Yeah.
All right, join now. I joined because it was 3 and then 4 and then 3, and I'm like, okay, man, well, I'm chilling.
I don't know how to join. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I don't think the interview should have happened at all. I think it should have been more in a more controlled environment with a third party.
I mean, so like I said, I'm going on a podcast in an hour.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be more controlled.
Exactly.
I think there's going to be better opinions and topics brought up.
Yep.
Who's
the podcast with?
It's with. Fuck, I keep forgetting their names. I'm gonna be with Cowsep. He pulls in like 1,000 viewers.
Oh, that's perfect.
It's called the Pogcast with Seal and the Sticks. They're like a newer podcasters.
What does Cowsep think? Have you talked about him? Like,
I have not personally talked to him. No. So
I think he's going to have conflicted opinions about it, but also
that's fine.
Slightly agree with you more than because here's the thing. There's certain junglers this would just not be good with, but it's also partly because they're bad junglers, and it's specifically the carry jungles who already do nothing for the team.
Yeah.
So like when you go mid like that as support as Teemo, you're removing the entire utility across all 5 roles.
Okay.
And that's partly why Nightblue has to stick up his butt over it personally. But the irony is that there's like so my backstory is I've played MOBA for 20 years, so I've got 10 years on season 1, and I used this strategy before League existed. And it's high risk, high reward is why you don't see it in like LCS or extremely high elo very often.
Right.
So because what they're trying to do is they're trying to mimic competitive, but the irony of this is that solo duo is nothing like competitive.
Not at all.
So in a solo duo setting, this is actually has a win rate spike compared to a competitive scene in similar circumstances. Even at Challenger, easily at Challenger, this would be effective.
I mean, here's the other thing that I thought about too, right? Let's just hypothetically say that a team that practice an alternative of my strategy, right? Where roaming support, you know, mid or top, whatever lane, right? They've been practicing this strategy. They go against a team that knows the standard way of doing things. I think the team that has the new strategy and knows about the new strategy is going to have a 1-up because the team playing against it is not going to know how to play against it.
Right, and in solo queue, that's just. But what I'm saying is, so like I'm a coach for a team. I've got 10 years on League, and to be blunt, I've played this strategy more than you.
Really?
And the main downside, because I've played League for.
He's not the only one to have thought of it. Like, there's no way.
2,200 games a season. That's a lot of fucking games.
The main downside of it is this strategy should be initiated by the ADC that knows how to properly freeze and play in that situation. That's the main communal downside that you're facing is you're imagine a situation where you're funneling, but you just decide to funnel. You don't have any communication with the jungle. You just decide I'm gonna funnel, and you just follow the jungle around in that similar situation. It kind of forces like a setting where you are aiding the team, but they're uncoordinated now.
Yes.
But I will say that in solo duo, this strategy specifically is more viable than like any other setting. So that's the advantage of it. It's just that it's not super easy to like set up the communication.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like what I feel is important because you need to have like a lot of communication with your team with that. Like,
right. And like last game with the Kindred, like, so the person that I know that does this best, like that I've ever met, plays Echo. He doesn't even play an ADC.
Mhm.
Like,
Did you meet me?
so well, no, I mean, I'm saying you're playing pretty decent support on. It's a
Right.
two set. It's a you know, you got to consider the ADC. You got to consider the jungle even when implementing the strategy, like, and that's where the downsides are. But the upsides of it are ironic because in solo duo, if you're a support, it's like 101 League of Legends. Leave your shitty ADC.
Mhm.
That's like. And
True. I know friends that they're like they test their ADC if they're shit.
Depending on how many minutes, depending on how many levels, they're just out of there. And a lot of that has to do with the core reason that this strategy is effective is what you were saying about the mid pressure and how basically the map pressure unfolds much differently. Again, so this is something where you're catching the enemy off guard, but the difficulty is that no one on your team knows the rotations for this either. So it's only you.
Right.
You have a one-person advantage on the strat. So if you duo queue, you instantly actually bring a lot more success.
Obviously, I think duo queuing or playing with a friend. Obviously, it's another person that knows how to play with it, right?
Yeah, like that's the only part of it that and then you also have to consider like. It's hard to say like that support. So like in higher levels of elo, telling a support to leave means leave. But you can't, like, if you think logically about it, all three lanes can't tell the support to leave because then the support just goes and like kills wolves and it's legitimately 4v5. Like,
just for the record, in the last rank game that I played, Diamond 1 myself, I got told by my mid laner specifically, I'm a Thresh player, I got told specifically by my mid laner, go back bottom. I said no. He said okay, and then we killed mid.
Well, he said, "Oh, okay." See, there's this famous quote by some unknown like league player that was pretty good. That basically, 5 people agreeing to a bad plan is better than 5 people that have individual good plans.
Yes.
And so, like, if someone doesn't like your plan, it's still their bad for not going along with it. But it's also like you can't be like Hitler or something.
Yeah. You can't hold people hostage.
You can't be.
Yeah, you know what I mean, dude? I'm like, I'm not
Also-
the best with the analogies right now, but
Also to the chat real quick, don't be mad though. I just want to say these LCS players like Doublelift has never made it past group stage, so cough cough. And Jensen DDoSes people, so you shouldn't take too much credibility into some of the pro players and what they say about comments on Twitter.
well, I mean, okay, League of Legends, dude, nobody's good at this game. That's what you have to wake up is that
The better you
like,
get at this game,
the best
more you
person,
realize how bad you are.
The best person at the game is like on a 20% skill level compared to like potential capacity, you could say.
I like to bring up a thing. Didn't League or like the League, I don't know, the Riot workers, didn't they like plan to make this game that like there aren't any roles or like a certain champion needs to be something and like like a top and jungle?
I mean, like for example, we just in that game there was ADTF and Sonateric bottom.
Yeah, I mean like
to my knowledge, Sona was never an ADC.
But then they like made the whole rank system like this, like you gotta queue up as a support or as a jungler, or that,
right.
which is kind of I don't know, man.
That's wacky.
Kind of iffy. Because I think at first they like in season 2 or when they had those interviews, they said like we don't want to put any roles on any champions and like we want to be like Dota, but then they still kind of just
but the people who gave those interviews, they were different people from.
And now, I know.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad, but
Yeah, it is. It is.
I hate it because any new idea in this game gets shut down or attempted to shut down. But Sonatark, when I first started doing that, and it wasn't this big thing, people were telling me I was trolling, and now look at the game.
Yeah.
People like it's just it's one of those things. There's so many champions, right? There's so many different combinations to this game that have not been tested yet. So for anyone to sit there and go, well, that's not going to work, or this isn't going to work because of this, like,
or I'm just going to ban you for doing it.
Exactly. You could be right. It could not work. But doing one game isn't enough to make an opinion. You need to do at least 100 to 200 games on a single strategy, a single attempt to actually land a proper opinion and get accurate data on it. Like,
yeah.
It's infuriating. It's really infuriating because people don't know what they're talking about.
Right. And I honestly think, but like you said, obviously the 5 people with a bad plan is better than 5 individual good plans. But here's the problem, right? Let's say I want to do this individual plan, right? But people don't agree on it. Should I be forced to go bottom because know from your personal experience that it's
the answer is yes. You should. You should because the thing is you're going to be surprised how often you run into people that will be okay with it as you get better at like the communicate. Like if I solo queue right now and pick Teemo and try to go mid support, I promise you I'll have a better time just knowing how to talk to people about it. You definitely do not communicate. You do not communicate. That is something you do not definitely.
Okay, let me tell you this. I'm high. I would consider myself high elo, right? If I go into a game and say, yeah, can I support Teemo mid? I guarantee you everyone's gonna fucking say no.
Yeah,
I will never have a team that says yes. But yet I think it's good, and I've been winning with it. So you're telling me that then at that point I'm forced to go bottom.
That's where I'm saying that they can say no, and like you can explain how you have it's your highest win rate or your best strategy.
I still explain it, and they still say no.
I mean, if they're toxic, that's the like exception to the 5-person rule thing that we were talking about. Like that's where it doesn't apply. But like it really falls down to like how like you approach it mostly, because it's not you being toxic if you're trying to communicate like, hey, this is how I think we can win best.
Yeah,
that's just
here's the thing though. When I play like 20 games a day, I really don't want to argue all day with people like that I'm never going to see again, right?
The only way out of that is to do it with ADC. That's the only way out of that.
No,
like,
because then mid laners get pissed because they're not getting solo experience. Like, mid
laners not getting solo experience though isn't mid lane's designed to be extremely forgiving compared to bot lane.
Wait, no, I have to interject. That is so unbelievably false. Mid lane is the most important XP lane by far.
Well, that's in a traditional meta. What you have to consider is like the impact. So obviously top is the most impact. If he gets first blood, we all know that's the highest win rate. So if you go top, that's where you're really trolling because you have potential added risk to like the top laner dying. Mid lane is more forgiving than top.
Wait, let's go back to that statement. How so?
Because the top laner is gonna 1v5 as a melee champion and is basically super tanky and will require 4 people to kill him. The mid laner is gonna be more like a mobility type deal where he's gonna endlessly.
I wouldn't say top laner is usually tanky.
Okay,
right now the tank meta is
it's not that they have to be tanky, but the idea is that top lane generally the champions 1v5 like a little better than mid.
Let me throw this out.
Mid is your second best at 1v5.
Let me throw this out there.
There's a lot of disagreement here.
Let me throw this out there real quick. You guys can argue. You guys can argue the top is or is not a good lane for snowballing. But let me tell you this, okay? You have Mordekaiser top. Like rework Mordekaiser, you want him fed. You have a Tom Kench top, you want him fed. You have a Darius top, you want him fed. A Relia top, you want them fed. And the list goes on.
There's an impact number. It's 12. So top is worth 12. 10 is what mid lane is worth.
Bro,
what are you getting these numbers?
It's the impact scores from chess. It's literally this meta is based literally off of chess, and those are what the pieces are worth.
I can't. This guy's way too low elo for me.
Dude, low elo, it's literally the climbing silver meta. It's literally the same strategy over and over again.
Silver meta.
The climbing silver. Do you play chess ever? Ever once have you
He
played
does,
chess?
actually.
Okay, well, if you know what the climbing silver is, that is what the traditional meta in League of Legends is emulating. And to think that there isn't multiple strategies in chess is hilarious.
I'm being griefed.
You're not being griefed. It's the climbing. Google the climbing silver
Bro,
and
I'm being
apply it to
griefed.
League of Legends. It's literally all it is over and over.
I'm being griefed. Top lane is 12. Mid is 10. ADC is -6.
Wait, now where? Okay, how are these numbers calculated?
They're calculated from so like the rook is worth a certain amount of impact in chess. It's given like a value. Same with the bishop, the queen, and all of these pieces are generally the way they control territory in the game of chess is ironically similar to like how the jungle is kind of like a knight and the support is kind of like a rook.
You are so dense if you actually are applying that to League of Legends and saying that every role.
Okay, you're so dense. You're so dense, dude. This meta is designed by people that have ran Dungeons and Dragons and play chess. If you don't think that's true, if you don't think Dungeons and
what is the same thing?
And I'll be quiet.
This entire game was invented by people that designed that system. And if you disagree with it, sure, man, sure.
If you think that any lane is more important than the others by more than a very small margin, you don't even play League of Legends. Otherwise, you wouldn't have half the rules.
You just don't know what the support does, dude. It literally
support mean?
Hold up.
Dude, you don't know what support does. I'm sorry.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Top laners can't really carry that well.
Yes, they can. Dude, like I said, Tom Kench right now.
Okay, here's the thing, though.
Well, I mean, Tom Kench can.
If you send Teemo to another lane, he's lowering the impact score of that lane. So the 12 becomes lower. You're actually lowering their impact and giving the ADC, basically the ADC becomes the top laner is what's happening. And this is why no one likes it.
Can I ask you something?
Go on.
Have you actually played chess in your life?
Who, me?
Me?
Yeah, you.
The guy who was just talking.
Yeah, why would you ask that? I was asking other people
because
if they
you
played
actually
chess.
like contradicted yourself in that sentence. You said
How?
that the piece is given value depending on how it controls like the territory, and at the same sentence you said
the bishop is an absolutely shit piece,
strategies
but it puts
in
the
chess.
king in checkmate.
I am as the person who like played.
Okay, well, I'll tell you right now, the bishop's impact score is not related to how it controls territory other than how its role to put the king into checkmate. That's why you capture bishops. So in other words, the bishop has an extremely inflated impact score because its role is just one job. But if you look at the knight's impact score is extremely efficient because it's controlling like six fucking spaces.
But that would be dependent on your strategy.
So here's,
no, that's just generally like the physics of the game.
So here's my opinion, because I think the gist out of it is you're saying that in your opinion, these numbers that you got from somewhere, right? You're saying that like have different. You think top lane has the most impact on the whole game.
I mean,
I'd agree.
Statistically,
I'd say bot lane.
I'd say there's enough statistical proof of that, especially with how there's basically no good top lane pro players, and the numbers of pro play top lane is super low. Everybody wants to literally be mid and ADC, and nobody can actually play ADC.
Actually, I think junglers are the most important.
No. Okay. Okay, jungler is definitely important. I think they're all important in their own right, but
they're all important.
Look at history. Okay, there's been a team built around Faker. All right, I think that's been probably one of the biggest exceptions in league history. I don't think there's ever going to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm totally on board with that. Faker is the biggest exception in history to top having the most impact.
But you bring up a great point because, oh my God, who's C9's top laner? Licorice.
Well, it used
Licorice.
Xylo Perez gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Everyone fucking clap, guys.
Licorice.
Really, huge.
Guys,
everyone fucking clap right now.
is a big part of.
Guys, I don't hear you fucking clapping. I hear you guys talking. I want you guys clapping right now. Everyone fucking clap. Xylo, thank you, man.
You wake him up and you make him clap too.
You is sleeping, bro.
Has huge impacts in games. Impact again has huge impacts in games. The Shy freaking carried the fuck out of freaking IG during the finals. And if you try and argue that the Shy or Jackie Love or any of them did anything, really? No, it was the Shy on Aatrox, freaking with a 5-man
guys,
knockup.
do you remember when Alawi was good?
Yes.
Are you kidding? Like 1v9s every game.
Top lane carries hard, dude. And it's an island.
Top lane's the only role that actually solo carries. It's not that they just carry hard. Mid lane does carry hard, Faker. But Faker needs that guy for the alley-oop, dude. He can't fucking just dunk and dunk and dunk. And so top lane, statistically, if they're fed, you win. They're dunking.
Dude.
Now here's the other thing.
I mean, why would you ever queue for any other role?
Well, nobody wants to play top. That's the most biggest ironic part of it, is it has the most impact and no one can fucking handle it.
I mean,
or maybe you're just
like,
wrong.
look at the famous top laners. They're fucking Hashimshin syndrome and lose their mind.
An item got removed from the game, not because of an ADC or a support or a mid laner or a jungler. It got removed from the game because Scion
you think
top
the whole game
oppressive.
is just decided by mid?
Scion top was oppressive. Scion,
dude, top lane controls the entire meta.
The Korean dude
from the very first selection of the character, like
because there's so many. Because you can play anything top, basically.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you're going to impact like the damage patterns or whatever the fuck you want to call it of everyone else's choices just by your first selection.
Yeah, but because of bot lane.
Let me ask you your opinion, okay? So, you think that top has the most value to the game, correct?
Yeah, if it was chess, the top is literally the king.
Now,
that his goal is to never die.
Now, you're saying by me going to his lane and giving him a free fucking laning phase.
Yes.
And extra kills. And
what I'm saying is that
supporting him, you're saying that that's bad.
No, I'm not saying that's bad. What I'm saying, what you're inadvertently doing, is making your top laner now the highest impacts. Not your top laner, your ADC the highest impact. Have you ever played the strategy? Have you ever played the strategy and your fucking ADC actually gets the double kill? Instantly over game, 100% guaranteed win. I know this. Has that happened to you yet? Like it happened to you?
I did have my ADC 2v1 a couple games.
and when that happens, the game is 100% over because they have the highest impact.
But you know what also is when it's 100% over is when me and my top laner get level 2 first. And
that feels
the top laner
over,
loses the whole wave.
Like I know that's good. The reason that it's good is you're switching up the impacts and it's in a way that counters the traditional meta. So it is good. Like strategically on paper, it's good. The problem is the intricacies and the mechanics of it are robust. So it's not just easy to perform.
I think it's very easy to perform personally.
Not for the ADC.
Nubrac, have you played with a GP before?
Did I play what?
Did you play with a GP? Help him.
Did I play with a GP?
Just start sending non-traditional Gangplank and solo bot. Like that's actually a fact. Like
I mean his wave clear is pretty good, but I wouldn't say that.
Well, I mean, like it depends on, I don't know. Everyone always looks at bot lane in universes where jungles don't exist.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, like, I don't know what to say to that if you don't think he can solo bot with enormous fucking attack damage AoE against squishies. I don't know even what to say.
The problem is,
oh, he needs to get there first. Oh, shit.
I think Corky might be able to solo bot lane also.
Some ADCs obviously don't have defensive or escapes or, and I think it's harder for some ADCs 2v1. Because honestly, like, if I'm playing my Leona 2v1 against whatever ADC, whatever I'm doing top lane on Teemo, like 2v1 diving, I'm also doing 2v1 bot lane, on Leona. Like, if I were to place, like, a solo ADC bottom, it would just be harder against, like Jinx, right? I can easily get on Jinx. Jinx can't escape. Ezreal and Sivir, like, they have spell shields and, they can kite more, right?
I think Caitlyn would be the perfect option.
Sivir is one of the best. Sivir is easily one of the best, but who is it? That other ADC. There's another ADC that's Twitch, by the way, is good at it, even though you wouldn't assume he's good at it. But there's another ADC that I'm trying to remember that's just so clearly Ezreal. Ezreal's really good at it. There's plenty of ADCs that are good at the strategy, but the problem is that their their whole strategy, like the best way to beat them is to freeze lane until level 6 and use a level 6 advantage with a gank to kill the 2 people. And that works like the best. Like on any, I play Katarina. I've 2.5 million Katarina games, and I've done this bot lane hundreds.
No, you do not.
Yes, I do.
You do not have 2.5 million Katarina games.
That's on one account. I have 5
You do
accounts.
not have 2.5 million
I have 5
games.
other.
Do you hear what you're saying?
He's talking about
mastery points. Do you know what a mastery point is?
Why do you say games then?
Oh, I don't.
It's a mistake, but come on, we all know what he's talking about. Let's not
Holy
be
shit.
let's not be douchey. Like,
I'm just too triggered from everything else, honestly.
That's fine, but keep it to yourself.
I'm saying that I've played cat bot hundreds of times, and no, you don't get like the first 2 or 3 waves of CS, and yes, that sucks. But like, ironically, you pretty much have like on any character you play bot, you don't actually fall that far behind. Like, it's the amount of number of CS that you fall behind versus like a typical lane is so low that it actually is easily possible if you're good at just freezing. Because the turret, if you understand how a wave crashes a turret, every single melee minion gets shot twice and then it's exactly at 1 hit. And all of the casters, if they're at full health, get shot once and are
Thank
basically.
you for teaching us how to play League.
Yeah. So basically, you lose nothing. Like, literally, if you're good at the game and understand like bronze ass shit, this Master Silver player couldn't figure out how to get high CS, I guess. What I'm saying is that it's extremely, you fall about on an average 10 to 15 CS behind them. And if you're thinking that your support player doing nothing for the first 10 minutes of the game when every other good support is known for leaving and setting people up, if you think that's good, then you're wrong. That's just how it is. Now, if you're but I'm not oversimplifying it. If you're challenger, if 10 people are challenger, having your support bot lane for 15 CS is viable because we all know that challengers can deal with that much extra advantage to lead to a victory. The point is that support is so hard that the majority of the ladder can't fucking play at bot lane, and that's the reality.
It's true. That's true. There's a lot of people that they don't play it optimally. They
If you're not worth more than 15 CS, you're ruining the lane. That's just the facts. You're a leech on his level 6. That guy would have soloed them level 6 if you weren't there. That's how it is. And so literally the support is leeching, like how everyone complains about the mid. The support is literally leeching the bot lane from the beginning of the game. And this is why he doesn't win the lane in super even settings if he's actually better.
I really, really don't like that word leeching.
That's what the support does, because in an ideal world, the jungle and support have to do nothing. The ADC 1 bot, 1v2, the mid 1 mid, and the top 1 top, and that's the end of the game. So like that's an ideal perfect world type deal. This jungle and support are constantly quote unquote leeching.
The jungler does leech.
How about we say just taking
more of a transfer of experience.
I mean, okay, if you always like to look at the brighter side, Nubracs, so I'll help you out. The distribution of experience is greater total value by having 2 people in the lane by like 20%. So you actually are snowballing. But if snowballing
so you're
itself,
saying like with 2 people, 2 people in the lane, are you sure on this that each person?
Yeah, you collect more total team experience is totally higher.
So if we're actually looking at then from like from an experience standpoint, to get the most experience in the game, you're saying that the support should be mid lane then, because mid lane
mid lane crashes first, and if the support is mid lane, then this is part of the bronze reasons that it'll Nubrac, if someone in silver uses your strategy, they'll get to gold. The problem is that now they're a silver support in gold, and they'll peak. Everyone will peak using your strategy. It won't actually climb to master. It depends on how good the player is. So you're in master because you're high diamond. It just works like that. If you get to grandmaster, well, what I'm saying is that generally speaking, what I'm saying is your strategy is better than you a little bit. That if you don't get your strategy in match select or queue or whatever, it leads to you having a worse lane phase because you're not like a Grand Challenger Lulu or something. So, like basically your strategy is boosting you a little bit, but because mid wave crashes first and various other reasons, and because the total experience split is higher, there's literally so many reasons that it's the best strategy for solo duo, because it's not truly a 5-on-5. It's a solo duo on solo duo. And that's why it's a really good strat.
So someone wants me to ask you for the drugs that you're on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
I don't share, so that's a problem. For
What do you have to be
Fair
honest,
enough.
to have,
Fair
like,
enoch.
100 years of Katarina games?
I don't know. I think that he could be onto something. I'm not really, like, unlike most people here, I'm not well versed enough nor mathematically smart enough to actually.
I played this strategy for 8 years before season 1. I used the strategy 8 years in Warcraft 3 before season 1 because there was similar advantages. I've literally done this 8 years before Katarina existed.
Guys,
so
this is the person
I'm
that
infinite
invented
years
this
of
strat
Katarina.
before I was even born.
I literally played in games where people didn't know what gank meant. Are you that old yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
probably.
A lot of us here have played since at least season 2.
Well, yeah.
I'm talking about the word gank, which is a word that predated League of Legends.
Yeah, he's talking.
I still don't know what that means.
Yeah, but in League, there were people in season 2 that didn't know what that meant. So
I didn't know what gank meant for a long time.
Okay.
Someone says in 1984 they were doing this strategy on Atari.
Dude, they were.
I did this shit on my Veo fucking computer, dude. Veo, you know that great ass brand from 1992?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've been ganking since the 60s.
Yep. Bro, you guys know D-Day? That was a gank.
That was a gank on the Germans.
Yep. The assist, the alley hoop from America, baby. Let's go.
No, they wouldn't know what it means. They wouldn't know what it means.
So another part of the strategy that's ironic though is that the bot lane can gank mid. Like no one ever expects bot lane to leave and gank, and like my bot lanes in the games that I do this will leave lane and gank mid, not like the ADC will literally leave lane and go fucking gank and get a kill.
Yeah.
Like, and it happens so often.
Okay.
Like there's all kinds of there's just all kinds of reasons that the strategy has good pressure and it catches people off guard, just like Nubracs saying.
My question is, why not Caitlyn? Caitlyn has a long range ultimate, right? So if she gets at least a BF sword, she's gonna hurt. So like, let's say the mid laner is just about to escape somehow, or like you got ganked by top and the jungler and the mid laner. So it's a 2v3, whatever, and someone's low health. Like, why not pick an ADC who has moderate good wave clear, who has a way to escape, and has multiple options? Right? Yeah, like Caitlyn is the best option.
I can tell you why.
The best option.
It's because Caitlyn doesn't scale with little gold. Teemo still actually is extremely impactful with little gold.
Ezreal with XP is just gonna push level up Q and gain 50 AD of attack damage worth of gold value every time he levels. So he does fine with like the XP and he has the bursty ultimate shit. Caitlyn, on the other hand, is looking at growing into an auto attack based champion. That's the part where it doesn't seem good, is that the ADC has to not trust their auto attacks unless it's literally only Sivir can do it. But I don't know of another ADC that easily can be auto attack based and play like that.
I mean, she's both auto, she uses her Q for wave clear / harass, and
if you really emphasize the Q and that playstyle, I bet it would work.
And also, dude, Futures Market's a thing, and I think it's a very underrated rune, but it's something that I think that it's really good in general for, let's say you don't have enough to buy your BF sword in a normal scenario. Futures Market.
Diving. Holy shit.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I think there's a lot of untapped ideas, so throw anything out. But I like Caitlyn. I actually just play her mid lane half the time. Like if I see an Aurelia and I know she's going mid, I'll just pick Caitlyn. Because I'm just all right, that's an easy win. You can't jump on me at that point. But I think she can just solo lanes very well. She has a decently long range too. And she has an anti-siege built in her kit with her traps. So that could be good to not get yourself king. I don't know.
I was hoping to like get in a game, but I'm out of time. I wanted to like show you guys how I just kill everyone solo bot as cat. But if you look at my OBGG Nubrac, you'll see that I played this strategy like all last week before you even were on the radar. Like because Yumi, I was playing a lot of cat bot Yumi, and my conclusion, because I played a lot of cat bot.
So who do you play and where do you go?
I play Katarina mid because that's like what
Katarina
Katarinas
mid
do.
as support.
But no, I just play Katarina mid. But what I'm just saying, Cat.
Well, you just said you did my strategy, so I want to know. Like,
yeah, I know. Cat is a bizarre ass champion, Nubrac. Cat will fucking do anything. So what I did is I went solo bot.
As Katarina.
As Katarina, and I did this a lot. And
you told your support every game to go mid.
I did this after this. There was like a pre-phase to this where I was playing a lot of just ADC cat, quote unquote, where my support would support me. My observation is that my win rates as just being by myself was way higher. Like, and so as of like 4 months ago, I quit playing cat. I used to gimmick Katarina ADC for years, and it's just like literally by yourself, it's stronger anyway.
So if you are saying that you had a better win rate when you were solo in the lane, wouldn't you think that this strategy is more optimal than the current quote unquote meta?
No, I think there's all kinds of reasons that Katarina is an example of the flaws and the advantages of the strategy. Katarina doesn't need like a whole lot of CS and she's XP based, and you just scale on someone for free. I get to sit in a lane, contest nothing all game, and I get level 6 and set up for a double kill by just the fucking position of the map. There's no other situation in League where I can do this. If I'm mid lane, I have to fight for every experience point. And if Zed zones me once, I lose my double kill bot. I lose my jungle pressure. I lose mid pressure. I lose fucking turrets off 1 XP. But instead, if I sit bot by myself and my support isn't leeching me, I literally just get free double kill like game after game. So like it's pretty obvious that it works. But the problem is that you have to take something as extreme as cat to really bring out the best in it.
What if instead you had a support mid lane and you automatically won against the Zed because he couldn't get any farm or experience because there was someone else in the lane denying him while proccing their Frostfang?
Well, right. So that comes down to like how good certain supports are with certain champions, just like the bot lane. So Yumi can literally come with me anywhere in the fucking game. If I want to go top lane and Yumi wants to go top with me top lane, that's absolutely fucking viable. Yumi can literally make me work at any stage of the game, at any lane. I could be jungle and Yumi can sit on me. I could be top and Yumi can sit on me. Literally at no end it works. But you know, not everything is as viable as that. So when I'm bot lane, I have a little bit more options. Like there's a couple ADCs.
Like this game right now, like the mid laner's down 35 CS at 7.
And has how many deaths? And you got how many turret plays?
3 deaths and 3 plates.
And how's bottom? Oh, you got 5 plates still up.
1,000 bits, Woodini. Man, welcome back. How you doing, man?
All right, boys, I had a blast. Thank you so much for helping me out here.
You guys, honestly,
good luck with everything.
I want people's voices to be heard, so I actually like this. This is entertaining. Even if people say points that aren't like understood by everyone, I think like having new people on this show, to a sense, right, is entertaining. We're gonna call it the famous Nubracs show.
The new fucking Netflix show.
Anyway, thank you guys. And I'll talk to you later.
Take care, man.
Yeah. All right, that was pretty good. I got a lot of information. I don't agree with everything that was said, but I feel like a little bit of the misunderstandings to be cleared up. It was an in-depth look into the noob camp. Noob, I wish you the best, dude.